Evan is not a conventional hero, not super handsome, not super alpha, and Jenny is not sort of a super conventional heroine, not mega pretty or rooming with, cheerleader quality or best friends, and yet they're both incredibly charming and wonderful and real, and their love is so real and their attraction so intense. Why did you choose to make them more ordinary maybe than romance heroes and heroines traditionally are?
Um, it's funny because I've actually gotten this question quite a bit about these characters, also, or if not a question, then just like comments on the fact that these are, I guess, ordinary people. And I guess my thought is my mind is very hot to me, and definitely I describe them as they are. But I think that's because to me, people in love, regardless of what they look like, are just super hot. They're like super hot to be around and they're super hot to each other, right? Like when people are in love, they're like in touch with a part of themselves that is just very interesting and compelling and engaging. And so that to me is like what makes hero and heroine sexy in books that I read. If I can like very palpably understand their attraction to each other.
April is telling me one more question. So
Okay.
actually, I want to ask you about your series that's coming out in January, The Burnsides, and
Oh.
it's the first one is Live, and it's you sometimes have referred to it as Destiny Story, but this series is a family, so it's brothers and sisters and their stories. And tell us a little bit about what readers of um, Snowfall and readers of your previous novella, The Story Guy, might find similar or different about Live.
Live is like a great big contemporary saga book. So it's a big family in a big city in a small neighborhood with lots of neighbors, all up in each other's business, brothers and sisters and family up in each other's business. Um, it is like set in the same kind of like big city Midwestern world that the story guy was set in, and that Snowfall is set in. So those kinds of like setting feel will be very familiar. Um, both the story guy and Snowfall are first person, limited perspective, very like small stories. Is like a bigger third person saga type story. So I know there's people who like that sort of like a broader point of view perspective. But again, if what you're reading me for is for very is the intensity of the emotions and of the love story between two very kind of unlikely hero and heroine, you'll find that in Live as well. Destiny is the heroine, and her hero is kind of a displaced Welshman. And the library will come back and Live that we saw in the story guy. And there even is a Carrie who was the heroine of the story guy. So I'm always
Very
thinking
cool.
about all the same kinds of things. Yeah. Thanks.
Well, and that's definitely why I like to read the intensity of the emotion and between two very unusual and special people.
Thanks.
So thank you, Marianne. Thanks for answering
Oh,
questions and
thank
sharing
you.
of you.
Thank you.